Every winter, I swear, this is the winter I will be chic and cozy, layering even better than the women I have saved on my Pinterest boards. But when that Detroit wind hits you, it can be a little bit hard to figure out how to look good and not rewear the same coat and jeans and boots every season. However, with the goal of dressing better and wanting to really get the most out of our closets, I'm so excited to share the winter trends that you're gonna actually wear that don't just look good scrolling on your couch on that girl's reel, but actually in real life. And for those of you who are not new to it but true to it, welcome back to my channel. And if you happen to be new here, I am Jordan Blackwell, but everybody calls me JB, and I love to share fashion, travel, beauty, and lifestyle, plus the mindset shifts to help you have the confidence to make them all your own. And you know, trends is not a bad word over here. I love looking at the trends to really help figure out how I can get more wear out of my wardrobe, rethink the pieces already in there, and help me actually identify what's worth buying for the upcoming season if I do identify a gap. So starting out with colors, because those are always the easiest. First and foremost is pops of red. Calvin Klein and Althusara had amazingly striking red outfits out on the runways, but you also saw that Gucci and Tory Burch had amazing pops of color too, because red is just giving bold, powerful energy. Like office siren, but also on the weekend. And the reason that I love the pop of red, not only because burgundy is one of my favorite colors for the winter season, but this can be translated in so many ways and super wearable. It can be a bold red lipstick, it can be a bold pair of boots, it can be your favorite bag, or if you really want to make a statement, a really amazing coat for the season. That's why I love looking at the colors, because a lot of times they are already in your closet and something that you have and can easily wear to add a nod to the trends. Which brings me into my second favorite, still trending from the fall, and that is browns, okay? Because brown is just elevated every day. And to me, it's black's non-boring color. Like, brown can kind of be seen as more of a boring neutral, but it is anything but this season. It is just a rebrand on minimalism. And I love the mocha mousse shades. I love, of course, chocolatey brown. My most recent brown addition has been this really gorgeous faux fur hat, which is also a trend that I will be talking about later in the video. But how good and under $30, instantly elevating any look. And then also these amazing Nike Shox Z in this brown velvet combo with this fun kind of pop of pink. Like, these are really, really fun accessories that you can add to any look. Again, as much as I love monochrome and you can do brown head to toe, and baby, like you see, brown head to toe is gonna be anything but boring. But brown accessories is such an easy way, not just for the winter season, but every season, to just elevate your look, and something that you're gonna reach for year after year after year if you don't already have it in your closet. And both of those pieces perfectly bring me into the next trend, which is just neutral textures. Y'all know I love texture to elevate any look whenever I want very minimal effort, but to be put together. Whether that is faux fur, that is suede, that is leather. Having like thick wool knit sweaters, so good. And again, so easy. You probably already have texture in your closet, whether that's a fuzzy scarf, a fuzzy hat, or even some textured sneakers. These are just going to easily elevate your looks with very minimal effort, and going to be something that you can reach for, not just this season, but every year, which you're going to notice a lot about these trends. And that's why it's not a dirty word over here, because baby, if we are spending our money on these pieces, the goal is to also be able to wear them for years and years and years, not just buy it because it's cute right now. Another trending texture that is so wearable, I am personally struggling to wear it myself, but I have seen so many people make this work for winter, and it's really surprising. That is lace. I have been seeing lace transition into winter this year in ways that have just like blown my mind. Think lace bodysuits or lace turtlenecks layered under just like a really fun jacket or a really fun coat. The other one I'm seeing are like the lingerie dresses, like the silky slip dresses that you would wear in the nighttime, but layered underneath a jacket and over some pants to just add a little bit of texture. What? Like, these are the unexpected ways that you can reimagine pieces already in your closet. That little camisole nightie that you rarely wear could actually be layered for every day. And that's how you're really seeing this trend imagined for the winter, right? Like, it's not just a lacy top peeking out underneath a blazer, which is still classic and very cute, but it is just like different layering. Even lace socks with loafers is really, really cool right now. And just adding that unexpected texture, which really gives your look depth. Next, we are moving into styling, y'all. This is another segment I really, really love, because again, it just gives you new ways to reimagine what's already in your wardrobe or things to look at. And of course, volume and structure, y'all. First and foremost, I'm actually seeing this in real time with the pieces you guys are shopping from my like to know it, okay? I've been seeing y'all snatch up the Andrea Iyama Sombra bodysuit. Like the texture on that, the structure on that, really bold shoulders are having a moment. It's so chic, y'all. And then also when you guys snapped up the Wolf and Badger denim skirt, again, giving volume, giving chic. Like it's bold but balanced. And that's what's so fun, especially in the wintertime. It's already cold and you really want stuff that is going to be easy to throw on and go because baby, I don't know about you, but I'm telling you, when that negative-degree weather hits, it can be really hard to reach for anything other than stuff that is cozy. So when you already have pieces that are bold and easy to style up, it's gonna be so much easier to look polished every day than trying to figure out the layering or this or that that's really going to work together. Which brings us into something else that is coming from the fall season. And honestly, I feel like year round that is going to be just a new style in general and just somebody's style aesthetic, and that is modern preppy sports. Think elevated athleisure, ease without giving up effort, y'all. Like, it's not giving gym clothes, more like evidence you've healed from your hustle era, y'all, because overworking is kind of dead in 2025. But when I think about this, I think of course, Miu Miu, Ralph Lauren, right? You have Bali, Kate, hopefully I'm saying that right, and Auralee, right? You're really looking at just like a bunch of really fun layering, and the building blocks for modern prep are going to be corduroy, they're going to be trousers, they're going to be an Oxford, like a classic button up, the polo sweaters we are seeing everywhere. But we're seeing these stacked in just some really fun and new ways, giving kind of a fun take on like elevated grandpa looks, the sexy librarian, just those classic athleisure looks made more modern with fun pairings, right? A blazer with track pants, the polo sweater with oversized jeans, right? There's so many fun ways that you can play with this and really just kind of elevate your everyday looks while still being cozy for the winter season. On kind of the opposite end of this, we are seeing leather and Uptown punk styling, y'all, which leather is always going to be in for the fall winter season, let's be honest. Like, we don't want to give matrix, we want to give edgy, I don't give a fuck energy, okay? And that's really the fine line that you're trying to dance when you're introducing leather. I'm seeing so many, of course, classic trench coats. Those are always going to look amazing. Leather trousers are so easy and such a fun way to just do a swap from your like breezy summer pants into the fall winter season, and your wool pants as well, just to get that extra texture and length. But it's also coming into the styling itself, y'all. Like, my favorite micro trend right now is everybody wearing a plaid button up wrapped around their waist. I have just seen so many cool renditions of this, and I really love how we're reimagining pieces that are already in our closet, because it doesn't have to be plaid. You could do this with a white button up. You can do this with any color you want to, just to add a little bit different silhouette, to add something fun. And again, giving yourself a nod to the trend without having to go all in with buying a brand new piece. And that is the perfect transition into the actual trending pieces for the season, starting with coats, because if you're gonna spend half of your life in a coat, it might as well do all the talking for you and give main character energy, because if you're a Midwest girly, basically from November into March, we're gonna be in some kind of outerwear. Like, let's just be honest, it's cold. So a lot of the trending coats and outerwear that I'm seeing this season are cape coats, okay? I know Edna Mode said no capes, but she was wrong when it came to winter season. These are so fun and so easy, and I feel like there's such a fun way to add an unexpected layer to any outfit, whether you need a fun way to zhuzh up your workwear. Like this over your 9 to 5 look is just gonna give very editorial, right? And again, you can like layer this over some jeans, especially if you're like one of those people who loves to actually be outside and hiking but want to look good. I feel like cape coats are a very underrated hero for the winter season. In line with that, I'm seeing tons of scarf coats. My girl Eden is absolutely obsessed. She was literally in Burlington Coat Factory and saw this one for $35. And it's so functional. I think that's what I love about this coat the most. You can literally throw this on over any outfit and you're just gonna instantly look polished. You've got the scarf that matches the coat, any pants, any shoes. It's just gonna give, that girl has her life together. Even if she's got on some leggings, like, I still want to be her. One that I am really loving this season, and I have seen a couple that have caught my eye, are plaid coats. Typically, y'all, I will stick to a bright color. I will have some fun with the silhouettes, but I've not really done pattern coats ever. However, the plaid is really doing something for me. I feel like this is so fun, especially given that plaid is something that never truly goes out of style. So whether you have plaid already in your closet or you're thinking about introducing this, what I'm going to urge you to think about are the colors you wear every year. I think that's what's so important when you're playing with patterns and you're playing with prints, is to think about the colors already in your closet that it's going to work really well with. I already love burgundies. I really love greens. So having a plaid coat in one of those kinds of unexpected colors will work really, really well. Because obviously I can wear it with jeans, but then I can wear it with my more unexpected pieces to really just add even more edge and just like, who is that girl energy? Like, because again, I want to look like I have my life together, even if I only have on a hoodie or sweats underneath this coat. So a good coat for the winter season is just never going to be a wrong answer. And what you are going to see everywhere, and I'm going to apologize now because baby, I'm also going to be guilty of this, faux fur coats. Now you can go ahead and thrift real fur if that's your thing, but like fur coats in general are always going to have a moment in the winter. It's always just going to give rich girl energy. I have seen this over sweats. I have seen this over camo. I have seen this dressed up with slacks. Like, it's good. Fur just looks, I hate saying that. I do, right? I am very much on the side of animal welfare, things like that. So I hate saying that fur looks good. And that's why I personally only have faux fur. But faux fur coats, they're going to have a moment, right? You saw last year I got my hands on this gorgeous brown one from Fashion Nova. Sickening. So good. And the biggest key when it comes to faux fur, y'all, it really can last a while, but you want to make sure that it is made very well. So if you are in the store, go ahead and feel the fur coat, really run your fingers through it, see if you're seeing the fur fall off really easily, give it a good shake, even do a little pluck test. I will personally pluck faux fur off of a jacket to see how easily that's going to give. The other thing with faux fur comes down to care. You can wash your faux fur coats. I have done it many times. The goal is actually to more soak the coat and run it on a very gentle cycle, very briefly, and then you're going to want to do your best to air dry the fur. You can throw it in the dryer and do the tumble dry. I have done that with no issues with my coats from H&M, my coats from Fashion Nova, my coats from Nasty Gal. Like, all my fur coats have turned out really, really well. But the way that you're actually going to get these to last long and really look good for years is by actually taking care of the clothes that you're buying as well. The other piece you're going to see a lot of this winter season is actually pencil skirts. I'm not quite sure if I'm loving or hating this as an ex-corporate girly, but it is a classic style of skirt that you can never go wrong with. And it looks good on practically every body shape. So the great thing about pencil skirts is you can find them in all kinds of different colors, all kinds of different styles. And if you don't have one in your closet, this is something you could easily thrift. I know there are so many thrift stores who kind of carry this piece, and I've seen them out and about. So do not feel like you need to buy one brand new. I would start at the thrift store with that one and really see who is giving what and all the different cuts and colors. And also don't be afraid to get like elevated basics of the pencil skirt. So not entirely a pencil skirt, but maybe a pencil skirt that's fitted through the knees and has some fun asymmetric detail around the knee section, or has a little bit of ruffle or something like that. I find that those are the ones year after year after year are always getting more compliments rather than just the classic styling. And that also makes sure that you are effortlessly looking chic because the piece is already doing the heavy lifting. If you have a classic pencil skirt, it's going to look amazing, but you are going to feel like you need to do more styling in terms of layering and colors and patterns compared to having a piece that already feels like it stands out a little bit on its own. Then the unsung hero of the winter season is always going to be accessories. I feel like people really sleep on the romantic practicality of good accessories when it comes to the winter time. Think baklavas. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Jordan, a baklava does not feel practical. But when my baby girl Anna, who was my Beagle Lab mix dog for 13 great years, was still alive, she and I would walk rain, sleet, winter, unless it was just like too cold, we were outside. And a baklava is actually a really fashionable way to be out in the cold and get more time outside. I know it's not the first thought that a lot of people have. You think it's just for people who are going skiing and up in the Aspen Mountains, but it does have a really practical use and can be fun and easy instead of trying to find a hat and scarf combo, especially if you're like me and you don't want to have to fuss with a scarf and tie it just so that it stays in place and doesn't move around. Another one you're going to see a lot of is going to be leather gloves, but not like not just the regular leather gloves, the nice longer leather gloves, almost like that mix of just the romanticism of like the 1920s and older days where the girlies had it all the way up to the elbows. I think we're gonna see a lot of that this winter season, is gloves really tastefully added to a coat, and then this just kind of like has this fun bunching around your arms. I feel like I'm gonna see people putting their bracelets on top of the gloves as well to add a little bit more romanticism. It's really just these little details that feel like self-care, but also give survival in the very, very brutal weather. Another one, like I showed you, the furry bucket hats and furry hats. Kangol is one of my favorites to do it, y'all. If you want something that's going to be classic and fun, Kangol has so many fun, not overly furry bucket hats, but that are still practical and wearable compared to like the bigger ones that I see at Zara. Like if you watch my vlog in Chicago, you saw I tried on this one. And I love the idea of it, but not everyone wants to have to fuss with their hat and flip the brim up and things like that. So keep, again, your personal preferences in mind as you are playing around and looking at these hats. Another one coming back, thanks to our boy Lenny Kravitz, the big scarves. Like the super big, obnoxiously big scarves are coming back. Now, while you could go out and buy one of these, I actually think this would be a fun girls' night activity, is that everyone goes and picks out maybe their favorite yarn and favorite color and like crochets and learns to crochet their own ginormous scarf. I feel like that would be such a fun bonding activity compared to just like finding one online and then just buying it. I feel like doing this with your girls, doing this with your mom, or doing this with your grandma, like would be such a fun activity, and then also just like a really accomplishing kind of moment. Like, yes, like I did that. Like I just made my own personalized big scarf and I added pockets to the front. That might just be me, but I feel like that's kind of the era I'm in, is a mix of like finding those really nice quality pieces, but also slowing down and making some of these things myself, or finding them secondhand and making them more experiential than just buying whatever is cute in the store right now. The other thing that is absolutely going nowhere is a good pair of loafers, and I finally pulled the trigger, y'all, with these gorgeous leather loafers from Vagabond in this fun burgundy color. How good are these? Look at that buckle detail. Look at kind of that like reddish brown color it's got going on. Then I personally did go with a classic rubber sole because I wanted these to work well for winter without worrying about damaging the leather itself. So this gives me some height while still being comfortable, and also gives me some protection for the winter season. I know everyone saw the Prada ones, but I also hope that you heard the critiques of the Prada ones that were like, I'm paying $1,000 and these are absolutely uncomfortable. They're too heavy. They rub the back of my heels off. Please keep that in mind as we are glamorizing designer, is to actually hear and think about the functionality so that you are buying the best quality for your budget. These were under $200, which is very reasonable for good quality leather shoes that are going to last. We do not need to think that everything needs to be thousands of dollars to be made ethically and be made well. I just want to have that quick reminder here because maybe the conversations I see and the way I could go at length about these things as someone who worked as a sustainable materials engineer, understanding the production, the material costs, and all of that, I just want to go ahead and throw that reminder as we're talking about trends for the upcoming season. Then another fun micro trend that I am seeing everywhere and makes sense for so many body shapes is the double belts trend. Now, I personally am still very much a fan of the Loewe belts. I have my faux ones from Shein that are going on 6 years old and have lasted a really long time and are upholding really, really well. But the double belts are really, really chic as well and will work for a lot of different body types, especially because we are seeing like the cinched blazers going nowhere, the cinched coats going nowhere. So if you have some oversized pieces that you do want to add some shape back into, pair two belts together. They don't even have to be one belt that has two loops. You could do a brown and a black. You could do a color and a black. You could do two black ones and just add some edge and some personality and some individuality with your own two belts, right? So I'm seeing this a lot, and I feel like this is such a fun one, again, that you don't have to spend any money on because we all have belts sitting in our closet that we can double up and just make a piece look chic and cinched to our bodies. While not my personal favorite because I think I'm very much over this style of purse, but I am seeing a lot of slouchy purses for the winter season. They're more looking like pouches. You would hold them in your hand, almost clutch style, which is why I'm not personally a fan. I feel like I am very much over having to hold a bag. That just might be me. Like, I'm very much over, let me just hold this for the sake of holding this, trying to do the underarm, overarm. I need the bag to just sit and be very, very easy, but slouchy bags are very wearable. They do work with a lot of outfits. They work regardless of your body type and budget. And you may have a purse that already is giving a slouchy vibe that you could just hold more like a clutch instead of a handbag or crossbody to still give the slouchy bag effect. So that's why I wanted to share the slouchy bag. I do think it looks chic. just personally for me and my function and where my life is at right now, it's just not my personal favorite, but it does look good. And honestly, like winter used to feel like it was survival mode for me, y'all, especially because the cold is my kryptonite. I don't know if you notice this, especially if you follow me on Instagram, but like I kind of go from summer, early fall outfits straight into like vacation outfits. I very rarely share winter, but now it feels like I have permission to slow down, get intentional, and dress like I already have the life that I have been praying for. Because nothing really says I have it together like having an outfit that just makes you feel good with very minimal effort. That you literally could go in your closet and pick a couple of pieces and it just effortlessly went together and not just looked good, but made you feel amazing. And that is always the goal when I share these videos. So I really hope that this video reminded you that you don't have to chase trends. In fact, if you found it helpful, go ahead and boop that like button. And if you've made it this far, hit the subscribe button because you're pretty much picking up what I'm putting down, and that's that your style just needs to reflect who you are. And if you enjoy videos like this, I have this entire playlist with other trends and how to really make them wearable or use what's in your closet so that you're maximizing your wardrobe. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye.